Welcome to the Weekly Option, the podcast for people interested in trading stock options. Each week, we cover trade ideas and opportunities in the stock market right now. Whether you're a beginner, a professional, or just curious about options, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly Option. This is episode 342 on September the 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Eric, and in this week's show, we'll cover the trades from last week on the ProShares Trust 2 Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas ETF, Unity Software Inc., and Palantir Technologies Inc., and we discussed three new trades on CleanSpark Inc., American Airlines Group Inc., and Xpeng Inc. Now, it's always great to hear from listeners. If you have any questions about the trades presented here on the show or even about your own positions, feel free to email me. You can email questions to eric@theweeklyoption.com. That's ERIC@theweeklyoption.com. I've also created a few videos to teach you all the basics of option trading that you'll need to know to be able to follow along with me on this show. You can visit our website and click on the videos tab to watch them, or visit the YouTube channel for the Weekly Option. Now, the equity markets finished the week slightly higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 249 points, closing the week at 42,313 points. The S&P 500 index picked up 35 points, ending the week at 5,738 points. And now it's time for the topic of the week. The topic of the week is mental fortitude. Now, there are certain things that you'll do in life that require a certain amount of strength and mental focus. Strength may actually be a bad word for this. I'll call it self-discipline. Trading is certainly one of those professions. You can be good from time to time and then experience significant loss from one moment of distraction or confusion or emotional sabotage. It can be difficult to learn to be strong every day mentally. I'll never forget one of my closest friends deciding to become a professional golfer. This isn't a hypothetical story. This is a true good friend of mine. He was a college All-American golfer. He won the state amateur golf competitions in Kansas and in Alabama. After some thought, he decided to go ahead and become a professional golfer. He clearly had the skills to do it. Roughly 2 or 3 months later, he told me he was not going to pursue this as a profession and would return back to his previous job. I asked him what happened because I knew how much he loved golf. He offered a few reasons. The largest had to do with the amount of mental fortitude that was required to go out and compete at that level 4 days in a row, several weeks in a row. You don't see that when you're watching golf on TV. You might sense it during an intense playoff, but the golfers live this every day they're on tournament. As a guy trading options by himself from home, mental focus and self-discipline are the name of the game. Emotion is often the enemy, right? Distraction is an enemy. So much of my trading day is spent managing my emotions so that they don't lead me down the path of loss. Hope can quickly turn into greed, which can turn a good trade into a loss by not capturing profits while they're there. Greed can also keep you from making decisions with a clear perspective. There's nothing worse than giving back a week's worth of profits in one day due to overconfidence and greed. You have to build the mental strength or mental fortitude to stick to your plan and execute it in a way that leads to consistent profits. We don't do this 4 days in a row. We do this 5 days in a row. Enjoy a couple days off over the weekend, and then we do it another 5 days in a row, roughly 52 weeks a year. That's the life of a trader. And if you want to become a pro, you'll have to figure out the mental side of trading. You'll need some mental fortitude to make it as long as I have. So that's it for the topic of the week. Let's go ahead and get into the review of last week's trades. So we're going to start off with the cover call on the ProShares Trust 2 Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas ETF. Symbol B as in Bravo, O as in Oscar, I as in India, L as in Lima. At the time, the stock was trading for $10.30 per share. I looked at buying stock and selling the October 11 call at 77 cents, hoping for a return of 14.27% in 4 weeks. Now, shares of the BOIL ETF rose $1.36, ending the week at $11.66 per share. The call option we sold rose 60 cents, leaving us with a net profit of 76 cents if we were to close the trade out immediately. Of course, we can nearly double the amount of profit if stock remains above $11 per share over the next 3 weeks. We are well above our break-even point also, so this trade is definitely a winner. No adjustments are needed. Next up, we had the credit spread on Unity Software, symbol U as in uniform. At the time, the stock was trading for $20.80 per share. I looked at selling the October 2019 put spread at 34 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 66 cents per spread. Now, shares of Unity Software rose $1.79 per share, ending the week at $22.59 per share. The out-of-the-money put spread that we sold is now even more out of the money. The spread actually made a profit of nearly half of our expected profit just in the last week. Now, we fully expect the spread to continue to depreciate over the next 3 weeks as October expiration approaches. So no adjustments are needed on this trade either. Nice work. And our final trade from last week is the debit spread on Palantir Technologies, symbol P as in Papa, L as in Lima, T as in Tango, R as in Romeo. At the time, the stock was trading for $37.20 per share. I looked at buying the October 36-37 call spread for 63 cents. That could give us a maximum gain of 37 cents, or that's a 58.73% return in 4 weeks. Now, shares of Palantir fell 35 cents, ending the week at $36.85 per share. The in-the-money call spread that we bought is now at the money, or only partly in the money. We would lose 14 cents if we were to close this trade out immediately, but still we are above the break-even point. The price chart also gives some reasons to remain bullish on this trade at the moment, so I'm leaning towards not making an adjustment just yet. If stock were to expire exactly where the price is right now, this trade would actually be profitable. It's important to keep track of the stock as we get closer to expiration, just in case it does continue to go lower. For now, no adjustments are needed on this trade at all. We are above the break-even point, so let's see how this goes over the next week. That's it for the trades from last week. Of course, we are already focused on trades that expire in the month of October. Our monthly expiration, or the expiration for monthly options in October, is October the 18th. So all of the new trades on today's show will use the October 18th expiration date. So let's dive in. We'll start off with our covered call as usual. We're looking at CleanSpark Inc, symbol C as in Charlie, L as in Lima, S as in Sierra, K as in Kilo. The stock ended the week at $10.13 per share. I'm looking at buying that stock and selling the October 10-half call at 81 cents, hoping for a return of 11.65% in 3 weeks. Now, you enter this trade by buying stock for $10.13 and selling the October 10-half call at 81 cents. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $10.50 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $9.32, and in real terms, the stock purchase would require $1,013, and you'll collect $81 for selling the option. Next up, we have the credit spread on American Airlines, symbol A as in Alpha, A as in Alpha, L as in Lima. The stock ended the week at $11.57 per share. I'm looking at selling the October 11-half 11 put spread at 16 cents. That could give us the maximum possible loss of 34 cents per spread. Now, you enter this trade by selling the October 11-half put at 42 cents and concurrently buying the October 11 put for 26 cents. This is a credit spread because we are selling the spread. This trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $11.50 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $11.34 per share. In real terms, you'll receive $16 per spread that you sell and have $34 at risk. And then our final trade on the week is going to be a debit spread on Xpeng Inc, symbol X as in X-ray, P as in Papa, E as in Echo, V as in Victor. The stock ended the week at $12.71 per share. I'm looking at buying the October 12-half call spread for 32 cents, hoping for a maximum gain of 18 cents, or that's a 56.25% return in 3 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying the October 12 call for $1.43 and concurrently selling the October 12 half call at $1.11. This is a debit spread because we're buying the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $12.50 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $12.32 per share, and in real terms, you'll pay $32 to enter the spread, and your maximum gain is $18 per spread. So that's it for this week's show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for sharing the podcast as well. And as always, thank you to those of you who have emailed me recently. There are a couple of you that I still owe a message to, so you'll hear from me soon. Hey, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And as always, happy trading. Thank you for listening to the Weekly Option Podcast. Please subscribe to our show and visit us at www.theweeklyoption.com. Disclaimer, there is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. The indicators and strategies described in this podcast are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. For our full disclaimer, visit our website at www.theweeklyoption.com.